Yeah, so welcome back to the channel once again. It is LFC Plavi here, and today I want to talk a little bit about the issue of set pieces that has become a topic of discussion throughout the entire season, and even more so after Arsenal won against Chelsea this weekend by 2-1. This was a game where 3 goals were scored in the game. All goals were scored by Arsenal, and it was all via set pieces. Don't forget that also a day before that game on Saturday, Liverpool scored 3 goals in the first half against West Ham through set pieces. Even to some extent, Liverpool's fourth goal was also sort of the second phase of a set piece. So people are complaining and kind of talking a lot about why this has made the Premier League boring and less enjoyable to watch compared to previous seasons and many other things. Fans of teams that are benefiting from the ability to score from set pieces are defending why they are using set pieces and are saying that basically they are good at it, so why not use it? Now, the issue of set pieces making the Premier League boring is absolutely true, because for me as a football fan, when I watch the Premier League, apart from watching my own team, I watch other teams as well. I watch other games. And I think last week or so, there was a game between Everton and Manchester United. And in that game, for the whole 90 minutes, you couldn't really see any sort of entertainment in the game. The only topic of discussion that came up after the game was how Everton were attacking their corners, headling the keeper, heckling, bullying, trying to sort of do everything possible to prevent the keeper from doing his job as a keeper. The Premier League referees have come under criticism for allowing the sort of pushing and jostling around that occurs in the penalty area or in the 6-yard area when teams are taking corner kicks. Now, there is a question of whether or not there is going to be a change going forward to prevent attacking teams from preventing the keeper from doing his job, because some people believe that doing all that and preventing the keeper from doing their job is actually why we have fouls in the game. And therefore, if a player is doing something that prevents the keeper from doing his job, then there has to be a foul given to the defending team. So we live to see. We live to see how the Premier League is going to deal with this issue of teams sort of playing right on the edge of committing a foul and getting away with doing a bit too much. And I think Arsenal have mastered that. They've benefited from that a lot this season. In the absence of goals that they've scored from set pieces, Arsenal wouldn't be in the position they are right now. And you could even argue that in spite of having all that advantage in terms of set pieces, they still haven't been able to open a wide gap between themselves and the team in second place. So you ask yourself, are they over-reliant on set pieces? Would it be right? Or how would it feel for a team that relies heavily on set pieces to win the Premier League at the end of the season? I think for that reason, a lot of football fans don't want Arsenal to win the Premier League because they think they haven't really played well, in spite of all the praise and all the adulation that Arsenal have received from the beginning of the season, mainly because of their solid defense and also the ability to score goals and win games. They still haven't been able to open a wide enough gap. And when you look at their points trajectory, they are not going to hit the points tally that recent teams who have won the Premier League are able to achieve. So it brings about the question of whether or not Arsenal winning the Premier League would be a befitting win, because from the way they are playing, it almost looks like they are scrambling and just about getting over the line. That is what it looks like. But Arsenal fans wouldn't care, would they? They wouldn't care as long as at the end of the season, the way they are playing, scoring from set pieces, being defensively solid, and trying to make a goal through corners. Yeah, at the end of the day, if they end up winning the Premier League, that wouldn't matter. And I would even go on to say that in the grand scheme of things, nobody will remember that. In 10, 20 years' time, when we are talking about Arsenal's Premier League winning season, we will talk about the fact that they were defensively solid. We will talk about the fact that they were able to score goals from set pieces. Nobody is going to say they were boring, because at the end, they end up winning the league. So Arne Slot has also been in the news because yesterday he had his pre-match press conference for Liverpool's game against Wolves, and he mentioned that he hasn't been enjoying watching the Premier League this season. First of all, I would say that Arne Slot himself is one of the contributing factors that I haven't enjoyed watching the Premier League season, this particular season, because I'm a Liverpool fan and Liverpool are not playing good football. So yes, what he's saying, I do agree. The Premier League in itself hasn't been as entertaining as we would have expected it to be this season. But he, Arne Slot, is also a contributor to the boringness of the league. Liverpool haven't been exciting to watch. We haven't been scoring goals from open play regularly. Recently, what we've been doing is making goals from set pieces, just like the other teams that he has been complaining about. So it is almost like Arne Slot is trying to say that if you can't beat them, then join them. He hasn't been able to beat them in terms of stopping set pieces from being scored against him. So he's now resorted to he himself using the set pieces to his advantage. So I think that is what is going to happen going forward. Teams are going to try and be better at set pieces. There is going to be a lot more emphasis on delaying the play, trying to slow the game down, preventing teams that want to pass the ball on the floor from doing so and having rhythm, and rather taking advantage of set plays, stoppages, and all that. But it is a phase, I think. Just like we had a phase in the league where every team was trying to pass from the back, this phase is also going to go away. The question is, how long is it going to take? So we live to see. We live to see. But in terms of the way the top teams have also sort of resorted to using the set pieces, because the use of set pieces is not a new thing in the Premier League. Various teams have used the approach of relying on set pieces to nick goals and get points here and there. However, most of these teams have been the smaller sides who, at the end of the season, are not expected to contend for titles or to win caps. So they get away with it because at the end of the day, they want to remain in the Premier League. They don't want to get relegated. So that is why they resort to that. Now, for the big teams, the issue is that it is a risky approach to try and rely too much on set pieces, just like Arsenal are doing. Because what is happening is that when you listen to a lot of Arsenal fans, the football that they are watching is not very entertaining. And so to them, the only thing that will compensate them for having to endure the unentertaining football that they are watching is to win the Premier League or the Champions League at the end of the season, to win a major trophy. So what Arteta is doing is that he's gambling. He's trying to rely on set pieces, not playing entertaining football. But at the end of the day, he's gambling that he would end up nicking a trophy, right? Now the Premier League table looks like it is going to be very tight. The title race is going to go right to the end of the season. Anything can happen. There is no guarantee that Arsenal are going to end up winning the Premier League. And so if Arsenal don't win the Premier League, then the criticism and the calls for him to be sacked is going to increase. It is going to be massive because he hasn't entertained the football fans, the Arsenal fans. And at the end of the day, if he's not able to deliver a major trophy, then it is going to be a problem. So I think going forward, another thing that I can say about the set piece issue is that there's a question of whether or not this is a sustainable way of winning. We've seen Pep Guardiola win the Premier League 4 seasons in a row. can a team actually rely on set pieces or be heavily reliant on set pieces and still end up dominating the league for successive seasons, like the way Pep Guardiola did? That is the main question, because Arsenal may end up winning the league this season, but the question is, come next season, would they be able to rely on set pieces and dominate the league again? That is a very big question. There is a more reliable way of doing it, and that is total dominance, total football, trying to play from the back, trying to play with high intensity, like Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola did. But the thing is, if you use set pieces or if you rely on set pieces, it is going to work for you in a season or two, but would it be sustainable? So I think that is also another aspect of the conversation that people haven't really talked about. And this is the few thoughts that I had that I wanted to share with you. Thank you very much for watching the video. I want to thank everyone who has subscribed to the channel, everyone who has been watching the video. Please keep watching. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you are new here. Also hype the video, comment down below, and don't forget to share the video as well. Thank you very much. I'll see you later.